and we'll share the screen. Yes, so last week we discussed about how to handle an iteration, right? So this iteration, like we use this iteration, or to we use an iteration inside a flow chart to represent some steps or some instructions which are ought to happen like in an iterative manner, like it's going to repeat again and again, right, due to a condition. So the example that we have taken was like, so I was asking to draw a flow chart to display 10 names, right, which are given by the user one at a time, right? So it is the example that we talk about, and the program was like requesting the name from a user, then displaying that particular name on the monitor. So that has to be done for 10 different users or 10 different people, right? So the challenge that we got is to figure out how it is going to work, or like how it is going to execute according to the given condition. In the condition, it says you are going to take one name at a time. So like the challenge was we have to take 10 names. So we have to have an algorithm to take 10 names one at a time in manner. And then we have to count how many numbers that we have taken, right? Due to that, what we have done was,
hari. Botak kataran botak kun. Connection is unstable. Making anything ayen නැත්තේ. ඔයා ඕකේ මේ mobile data වලින් යන data.
Right, okay. Hari, කාගේ හරි mic එකක් මම හිතන්නේ on වෙලා දැන් හරි, right? Mic stick ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න. Right, okay. So all right, so we were taking one name at a time, and we had to count the numbers, the number of names that we are taking. So for that, we have taken something called counter. Right, so the manner that we were carrying out was taking a name and displaying that name. And since we received a name, we increase the count by 1. So in the start, at the very beginning, we state count as 0. So we can execute this particular equation. So when we are executing this particular equation for the very first time, if you are not having anything, or like if you haven't initialized your count, something like this, so there will be no value for existing count to add with 1, right? So for that reason, you should have the count, but you have to give some initial value to the count to get increased by 1 to each and every iteration. And again, the count is the one which decides whether to iterate or not. Because we are iterating, the reason that we are iterating is because we need to take 10 names. Right? So the condition or the decision is made by the count whether to iterate or not. So that is why we use the count variable right, count variable inside the decision box to ask the question whether the count is less than 10. And I told you we have to like decide whether it's going to be less than or less than or equal, or what will be the operator, by having some check-ins. Later we are going to call this the hand tracing method. So we have to hand trace. So that means we have to check whether it is the less than 10 or less than or equal 10 that we are going to use in this point, right? In some of the cases, we will be like, we are able to directly identify what would be the operator. And in some cases, we have to like do the procedure, or like, that means in other words, you have to do some iterations for like 2 to 3 iterations to see what's the pattern is. Right. So I hope this example is clear with you all. Right. Can you please confirm if you still need any clarification, or else just confirm that you are okay with this. Right. Okay. How about others? Right. All right, so let's try a simple example, something very similar to this. So just see whether you are able to like clarify that thing, or like to figure it out how it's going to happen, right? Just confirm whether you have uh, yeah, Dulagi, uh, this is the last question that we talk ned dual iteration එකේ තිබ්බ එක නේද අපි කතා කරේ, or the right, okay. The one with the two ifs, like where you have to find out what is the largest number out of three things. Right, okay, right, okay, right, okay. Okay, okay, okay. So let's go for that first, right? Hari. So now in that case, like most of you have sent me the answers, like every one of you has done, I think, into its optimal position, like you have done it in a very good manner, but there was some slight mistakes. Actually, those are not mistakes, but it's like where you have to think about it little bit further than that. Only some of the modifications, or like very minor modifications, to be done. So this is the question. So I'm going to take that question. Yeah, I'll take it somewhere here. Oh, not a good thing. Right. Okay, so the challenge was taking the biggest number or the maximum number out of three numbers. So remember, like you can use many different kinds of conditions inside a one condition, but still, like when we are doing it for the first time, or like since we are doing it in the very primary manner, we are just limited to use one particular condition inside our what you call inside our flowcharts, right? So in this case, the challenge was to take maximum number out of three given numbers. So how we are going to do that? You are going to start it then you're going to ask for 3 numbers. So I'm saying enter 3 numbers and consider them as X, Y, and Z. Right, so this is going to be my input statement. So hereafter, I'm going to refer those numbers as X, Y, and Z. So then we have to decide, right? So the first decision that I'm going to make, I'm going to take any of these numbers, right? So I'm asking the question, is X larger than Y? So I'm just taking 2 numbers and comparing them. So there can be yes path, there can be no path. So let's think about one direction first. Like I'm thinking about the yes direction. So X larger than Y, that means X is bigger and Y is smaller, right? So since we know X is the larger one out of these two, out of X and Y, so then we can check, is X larger than Z? Right? And if it is yes, that means X is larger than Z as well. So because of that, we can say display X as maximum value, right? So this should go inside a parallelogram since it is an output. Right? And then it can end. And logically that is what should happen. Right? Then on the no part, now if this second condition no means, Z is greater than X. So when you are flowing through this particular yes path, you know that X is greater than Y. So X is the larger one out of X and Y. But here Z is larger than X. So that means, without a doubt, you can say display Z as maximum value, which is going to be an output. And then it can move to the very end, very same end. So we just talk about starting, taking 3 numbers and comparing X larger than Y. So yes part, X is the bigger one, X larger than Z. So if it is yes, X is the largest. If it is no, Z is the largest. Now, if we are going on the no part, that means Y is greater than X, right? So if you go on this path, that means Y is greater than X. So then you have to check, is y greater than z or not. So in that case, if it is in the yes part, then what you are going to do is you are going to display y as the maximum value. And if it is no means what? You have to display the z, right? So in that case, you can connect this to this particular point, or rather, without connecting it to that particular box, the most appropriate way is connecting it to the flow. So then it displays z. This is the place where most of you have gone wrong. You have drawn two separate output boxes and duplicated display z as the maximum value, right? So if this is no means y is less than z, so z is the greater one, right? So if you move here, you need to end, so your end is going to be something like this. I can simply flow this to this particular flow. So the answer for the eighth one is going to be something like this. Right, so if you have not completed it yet, so just complete it. I'll give you 2 minutes to have the completion. Let me know if you are done with everything before 2 minutes goes. Right. Yes, Vinadi, I'll look into it. Hold on. Yes, do I have a mistake made? Yes. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Perfect. That is correct, though. I think I have sent you a reply. It was about the very first one. Name. Yes. This is perfect, though. This is correct. This is the way that I have drawn as well. Right? Great. Okay. So do anyone need any time to copy this down? Or else we can go for the question number 9, which is with the iteration. So we are trying to finish up the iteration today and step to the pseudocode. So once we step to the pseudocode, it is very easy for us to move to the Pascal. Right, okay. So I hope everyone is done with this example. If you need any time, just indicate me. I'll shift here back, right? So I'm going to write the question number 9, right? Here comes the question number 9. Right, let me see the question number 8. Yeah. Here's your challenge, which is something very similar to the previous one. So question 9. Draw a flow chart to display numbers from 1 to 10, including both, using an iteration. So I have specifically said display the numbers from 1 to 10 using an iteration, right? So that means first you are displaying 1, then using an iteration we have to display 2, then 3. I'll give you a hint. Think about the counter, right? Your counter will help here, right? Okay, give it a try. And you know the drill. Do it and send me the answer. I'll give you another help. You need a variable and you are always going to display the same variable, but you have, before you display it, you have to increase the value of the variable by 1. So it is done by using the iteration, right? Like during the iteration. Okay, Unetra has sent me the answer. Let's see, Unetra. Onetra, now in your one, you are saying enter a number, uh, the count equals 0, so enter a number. So if I give 10, so that's going to be a problem. I'm just asking to input value from 1 to 10 duos. So if you are just asked for a number from the user, it depends on the user input. Now here you are not going to depend on the user input. Anyway, you are going to start it from 1. And then in your monitor, you are going to show 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise up to 10. According to your algorithm, though, if user gives 10, it displays 10. Then your count is getting increased by 1. Then you ask for another number from the user though, which is going to be a problem because we can't guarantee that user is going to give the numbers in the order of 1 to 10. When we ask something from the user, it's going to be a number as he decides, right? So do not involve the user in here, right? User involve කරගන්නේ නැතුව දැන් දුවගේ program එක ඇතුලේ ඉන්නවා එකින් එක වැඩි වැඩි එක්කෙනෙක්. So you just display that particular variable. Yeah, I have received another. Let me see. And this is from Dulagi. Right, let me see Dulagi. Yes, okay. And again, right. The කට්ටිය ළඟට එනවා හොඳයි. කොහොම හැප්පෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Right. I'm getting the values, I'm getting the flow charts over here, right? So Onetra, you are one. The problem was about this enter number thing. නේද මෙතන number එකක් දුන්නම A number එකනේ මෙතන display වෙන්නේ. So user will give some number. If he gives 10, the 10 is going to be displayed. Then it's going to be a problem. You need to display it from 1 to 10. And Dulagi, it's Dulagi, right? Yeah, Dulagi, the problem is you said count is increment by 1 and display the number. So what is the number do? That's the problem. Then do කියලා start කරන්න count එක 0 කරන්න count එකක් වැඩි කරන්න display the number. Now what is the number? එතන පොඩ්ඩක් හදන්න ඕන. ආයෙත් මේ condition එක ලියවෙන තැනක් හදන්න ඕන. බලන්න තව චුට්ටක් හිතලා තව පොඩ්ඩක් ඉස්සරහට යන්න තියෙනවා. Minol, let me see. Okay. Yes, you got it, Minol. Well done. I'm not going to show it for a longer period, so for others to think. Then Minul's condition again, right? Okay, right, okay. Yeah, let me refer it from the phone. Yes, Minul, your condition is also correct. Well done. Right. Right, or if I have send me the answer again, let me see. Okay. Yes, on it, can it longer to ගිහිලා තියෙනවා. දැන් දුව පොඩක් හිතන්න number කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. The program එක දන්න දෙයක් තමයි display කරන්න ඕනේ. But you haven't told what is the number. Number කියන variable එක ගැනවා කියලා නැහැ. ඔය count එකත් එකින් එකට වැඩි කරනවා. දුක පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ තමයි count එක. නේද පුතේ? number නෙවෙයිනේ. count එකනේ ඔය එකින් එක වැඩි කරන්නේ. So you can show the counter. The value of the counter. Yes, yes, Dulagi. That's what it says. Your number should be the count. Correct. හොඳයි දැන් ඒ කියන්නේ logic එක ඕගලන්ගේ ඔළුවේ තියෙනවා. Good. So you have to figure out the things. හරි. අනිත් අය try කරන්න. අනිත් අය try කරනකම් I'll give you another question. Here comes the question 9 or the question 10. Give it a try. So I'm receiving some more. Let me see. Yes, Onetra. That's what it is. Yes. ඒක එහෙම කියන්න හේතුව පුතේ දැන් computer එක දන්නේ එයා ගාව තියෙන දේවල් display කරන්න. So you have initialized what the count is. Count 0 කියලා පටන් ගන්න තියෙනවනේ. ඒක අකුවම count එක එකකින් වැඩි කරලා ඒක display කරන්න කියලා computer knows about it. But if you say display number කිව්වම computer will have a problem. What is the number? I don't know anything about number. ඔය ප්‍රශ්නේ නෑ. Right? Binati, I am receiving yours. Let me see. Binati, the same mistake. Don't take any inputs from the user. User के inputs ඉල්ලුවොත් user දෙන input එක මත ඔයා තීරණය කරන්න වෙනවනේ නේද? user 10 දුන්නොත් දැන් ගුවක එකේ තියෙන්නේ enter a number display the number. එතකොට enter a number කිව්වම user ගේ number එකක් ඉල්ලනවා. එතකොට user 10 දුන්නොත් you have to display 10. මට ඕනේ එහෙම නෙමෙයි 1 to 10 පෙන්නන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි variable එකක් හදා ගන්නවා එකෙන් පටන් ගන්න එයාව පෙන්නනවා එකක් එකතු කරනවා ආයෙත් එයාවම පෙන්නනවා ආයෙත් එකක් එකතු කරනවා ආයෙත් එයාවම පෙන්නනවා so එකක් එකතු කරනවා කියන process එකයි ඒක පෙන්නනවා කියන process එකයි repeat වෙනවා right හරි හිතන්න බලන්න ටිකක් I'm going to do it within a short time. Yes, Onetra. Yeah, Onetra, your one is correct, but be careful when you are displaying it to us because ඔයාගේ count එක ඔයා 0 වලින් දුව පටන් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. So start count equals 0. If you are asked to display count, then it displays 0. මට 0 ඉඳලා නෙවෙයි පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ 1 වල ඉඳලා. So you know where to change. නේද? මුලින්ම පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ 1 නම් count එක පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ මොන වැලියකටද කියලා හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් නේද? And this is from 0 level. Let's see 0 level. Okay. Sinura, there it's going to be a problem. Then mama කියලා තියෙනවා question එකේ take one number at a time කියලා. එතකොට පුතා කිව්වොත් enter 10 numbers කියලා එක සැරේ එතකොට ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. right මොකද 10 numbers එක සැරේ ගන්න බෑ. ඒක කරන එක නතර කරන්න තමයි අර one at a time කියලා මම කියලා තියෙන්නේ. Minul, that doesn't matter. Negative තිබ්බත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. අවසානයේ addition එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. So it can be a positive total or maybe it can be a negative total. Don't worry about it. You don't need to check whether it is positive or negative. At the end of the day, we need the total. That's right on it. Yes, it is the way. Let me check the condition. ඔනේත්‍රා condition එක ගැන චුට්ටක් හිතන්න බලන්න. condition එක less than 10 ද වෙන්න ඕනේ less than or equal 10 ද කියලා. ඒක හිතන්නේ දැන් එක iteration එකකදී සිද්ධ වෙන දේ හිතන්න. ඔයාගේ එක පෙන්නලා තමයි count එක දෙක වෙන්නේ. so දෙක පෙන්නලා තමයි count එක 3 වෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි check කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයාගේ 9 පෙන්නුවායින් පස්සේ count එක 10 වෙනවා. එතකොට condition එක check කරනවා. Then what's happening? Is it less than 10? No. Then you displayed 9 only. You didn't display the 10. So if you keep your condition like that, 10 won't display. නේද? එහෙනම් condition එක change වෙන්න ඕනේ less than or equals 10 කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් you can use less than 11. Dulagi, your condition was okay, I guess. Let me see. Dulagi, the problem was in your condition, you are still checking the variable called a number. So there is no clue about a number, right? So that should be the count as well. Yes, Minolina. Yes. I haven't said calculate and display. That's my mistake. Draw a flowchart to calculate and display. Ovin, how about the situation? Puta, Vihansa, Agra. Yes. Then, Hari. Before I am doing the question 9, I need to know what's the situation with these people. Agra, Puta, how was the situation, Puta? හිර වෙලාද ඉන්නේ කොතනද හිර වෙලා ඉන්නේ කොබලන්න. Right, okay, Ovin, all right. How about Agra? Agra and Vihansa. Dua, how was your situation? I'll help you if you are troubling, just tell me. Right? If you are struggling, just let me know. I'll help you. Okay, so I'm going to take the question number 9, right? Here it goes. Right, I'm taking the question number 10 to a little lower place. Yeah, somewhere around here. Okay, right. This is the question number 9. Here's I'm doing it. So, hari. Then කරපු අය බලන්න. මම hari කියපු අයත් බලන්න, right? So we are starting. And we haven't said anything about user inputs. So you don't need to take anything from the user. So what you are going to do is you are going to display the numbers from 1 to 10 and you are asked to display it one at a time. Right? ඒක හරියට අපේ නේද? stopwatch එකක නැත්නම් අපි අපේ screen එකක countdown එකක් පෙන්නනවා වගේ. එක පෙන්නනවා, දෙක පෙන්නනවා, 3 පෙන්නනවා 4 පෙන්නනවා likewise, right? දැන් මම මේ ඕගොල්ලෝ වරද්ද ගන්න තැනත් එක්කමයි මේ කරගෙන යන්නේ, right? දැන් මට හිතන විදිහට මම ඇන්දොත් ඔයගලන්ට හිතන සරලම විදිහට මම ඇන්දොත් start කරා කෙනෙකුට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මෙහෙම. Alright, so he is asking to display numbers from 1 to 10, so I'm saying display 1. So it's going to be an output. So then after, what we are going to do, you are going to display 2. So it's another output box. So likewise you can use many displays. Likewise you can display the 10 and you can end. Now the output what we need is correct. It is displaying from 1 to 10, but I have said do this using an iteration, but you don't have any iteration here, right? That's going to be a problem. ඒක නිසා මේ විදිහ හරියන්නේ නැහැ. So, and I have given you a hint. You look onto the nature of the count. නේද? එහෙම කිව්වනේ count එක දිහා බලලා count එක පැත්තෙන් හිතන්න කිව්වනේ නේද? Okay, so then for one at a time, when we are like showing one at a time manner, we should have something to show which is going to increase one by one. එකින් එක වැඩි වෙන මොන හරි දෙයක් අපි පෙන්වන්න ඕන, right? දැන් මම කියවනේ ඔබ කරනකොට හිතන්න කියලා ඕගොල්ලෝ කම්පියුටර් එක කියලා. So now you are the computer. Now you need to show something, but that thing should increase one by one. Like you are showing it, increase by one and then showing it, and again increase it by one and then showing it, and again increase it by one and then showing it. So if you are going to show something, you need a variable, right? So I'm taking the variable as the number, right? So my plan is display number, which is my variable. So it's going to be an output, and then I'm going to increase it by 1. So how we are going to increase something by 1? We know now, like there is a special way of writing it. Neither I'm going to say number equals number plus 1. This is the way we are going to write the increment. If you are going to increase 2 by 2, we are going to say 2 by 2. Minul, it's the final total, not the each and every total that you need to display, right? So that is the advice for the manual, right? So my general approach is this: I display the number, I increase it by 1, then I'm going to display it again, right? So this is my general plan. I display a number, I increase that number by 1, and I'm going to display again, increase it by 1, and I'm going to display again, increase it by 1, and I'm going to display again. Now I have a limit. What is my limit? I have to start it from 1. So that means මෙතන display number කියලා very first time කියනකොට I should have initialized some value to it, නේද? Otherwise program does not know what to be shown කියලා නේද? So that means I have to initialize this. How I'm going to initialize it? So the very first time I need to show 1. So I can simply say start, first consider number as 1. So number equals 1, that is my process. Then display it. So 1 will be displayed. 2 is getting, and if I am connecting it to right over here, so So it will increase by 1, 2. So 2 will display. Increase it by 3, 3 will display. Increase into 4, 4 will display. Increase into 5, 5 will display. But I have to stop it by 10, from 10. ඒ කියන්නේ 10 display උනාම නතර කරන්න ඕනේ. තව කෙනෙක් display කරන්න බෑ. Right? එහෙමනම් මගේ display කියන්නේ මම display උනාමනේ නතර කරන්න ඕනේ නේද? මම මේ condition එක දාන්න හොඳම තැන දැන් මේ කියන්නේ. මගේ number එක display උනාම තමයි මම නතර කරන්න ඕනේ. 10 display උනාම නතර කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ in other words it's better I check my number once after I display a number. මම number එකක් display කරාම check කරනවා. 10ද එහෙමනම් නතර කරනවා. එහෙම නෙවෙයි නම් display කරනවා. නේද? That's a general idea. Number එකක් display කරනවා බලන්න එයා 10. නැත්තම් display කරනවා. ඔව් නම් නතර. Right? So that means the best place to check my condition is right over here. Just after the number is displayed. So I'm asking is, I can ask this in many different ways. Number equals 10. Is number equals 10? I can ask that question, right? So if it is no, then increase it by 1 and display it again. Then again, ask the question again. If it is no, increase it by 1 and display again. If it is yes, then stop it. Right? So this is it. We don't have anything to do. Right? Now some have drawn this is with the condition of is number less than 10 and having their condition was number less than 10. And they have gone yes path into this particular point and no path with this particular direction. Right? My red වලින් ලියලා තියෙන්නේ මේ තියෙන condition එකට against ගියාම ගියපු විදිහ. Right? ඒ විදිහට යන්නත් පුළුවන්, no problem. And some have used their condition right over here. Like after this thing. So still we can, right? මෙතන තිබ්බ කියලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මෙතන තියෙනකොට මම මේ පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන condition එක සමහර විට ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. right? දැන් මම මේ ලියලා තියෙන විදිහට number එක display කරා. මෙයා 10 display කරා. එකක් වැඩි කරලා 11 වෙලා එන වෙලාවෙදී පොඩි ගැටලුවක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතනදී අපි හිතන්න ඕනේ මොන විදිහටද condition එක change කරන්න කියලා. Right? That's what I told you. There can be many different solutions for your answer. Right? It depends. Hari. Make a specially මට උත්තර නොවෙපු අය තේරුණාද? ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් confirmation එකක් මට ඕනේ. Yes, how about those? Right, okay. Yeah. Minul, less than 10? Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Less than 10 වලදී සමහරලාට 10 include වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ condition එක ගැන හිතන්න වෙනවා කියන එක. ඔයා කරන විදිහ අනුව. Right? ඉස්සරහට අපි කතා කරනවා කොහොමද එහෙම trace කරන්නේ කියන එක ගැන. Right? And how about the others? There are like two more people. I'll go through it, Minul. I'll go through it. Yes, then පොඩි පොඩි වැරදි තිබුණු අය හැමෝම වගේ තිබුණා. දැන් ඕකේද? මට හැමෝගෙම confirmation එකක් ඕනේ. Whether it is okay or not. So far only 3 people have sent me the confirmation. There are 8 in the room. Right, okay. How about others? 4 is okay. How about the others? Right, okay. 5 are done. 3 more to go. Right, okay. 6 are done. 2 more to go. Yeah, okay. 7 are done. 1 more to go. No, 2 more. Oh, no, actually 1. Yeah, Ovin, it's you. Is it okay? Right. Sure, right? So like, if you got any problems, just ask, right? Okay, people. So I want you to try the 10th one. Right, send me the answers. Meanwhile, I'll go through yours. So meanwhile, I'm going to put 11, so which is a extended version of the question number 10. Right. Try the 11th one as well. People who have done the 10th, you can go with the 11th. Let me see the answers that I received. Yeah, I have received the Onetra's answer. Let me see. Onetra, there's a problem though. I'm telling to take user inputs one at a time. Neither I'll explain the 10th question. I'll explain the 10th question, right? 10th question is draw a flowchart to calculate and display the total of user given values one at a time. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔය program එකේ user එක නිතරම program එකෙන් message එකක් display වෙනවා enter number කියලා. එතකොට user දෙනවා numbers. දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ඕගොල්ලෝ නම් program එක මම නම් user, so I'm giving 10 for the first time. So you take, okay, total is 10. Then you ask another number from me, right? So I'm giving another number, 20. So okay, the second number is 20. So 10 plus 20 is 30. Now you update the total. It's 30. Then you ask another number from me, right? So I'm giving 50. So now the total is 30. 30 plus 50, total is 80. So you will ask another. I'm giving 10 again. So total is 80 for the moment. So 80 plus 10, total is 90. Then you are asked again. I'm giving 0. So you stop doing the addition and you display, okay, 90 is the total of the values that you have given so far, right? That kind of a program that it's going to be. ඒ කියන්නේ බිඳුව කියලා user input කරනකම් user දෙන numbers එකතු කරනවා, right? Okay, give it a try. Meanwhile, I'm going to your answer. Let me see. Meanwhile, iteration එක correct වෙලා තියෙන තැන වැරදි. ඒ කියන්නේ like the flow which should be connected after total equals total plus n is wrong. Think about it. And this is Tulagi. Let me see Tulagi. Okay. Tulagi, you just missed a point. ඔයාගේ iteration එක හරි දුව, but updating the total should have happened inside the iteration. දැන් තියෙන total එකට දැන් දීපු number එක එකතු කරන්න, then you assign that total to the variable total again, right? So yes, Minol, it should be there above the input, right? I'm giving a help for you for this. මෙතනදී ඔයගලන්ට ඕන වෙනවා total එකට දීපු number එක එකතු කරලා ඒක total එක කියලා සලකන්න කියන එක ලියන්න. You may need this particular equation. Total equals total plus number. So this is the current total, as I told you in the counter as well. This is the new total. So current total is added with the number and it will assign to the total again. So it will become the new total. Dulagi, think through this. Right? බලන්න කෝක කොතනද දෙන්න ඕන කියලා. ඕක හරියට දාගත්තොත් තැනට then you are okay. Meanwhile, I received yours, going through it now. Yes, that's correct, Minul. Done. Let me check the condition. Minul, just think about the condition. Condition එක තියෙන විදිහෙන් numbers 6ක් එනවා වගේ කියලා හිතනවා. Just check it. Onethra, I received yours. Let me see. Yeah, Onethra, do now. Still the problem stays with the very first input and the total equals n1 plus n2 plus n3 thing. Then දුවගේ argument එකේ හැටියට user දෙන්නේ numbers 3යි. ඒ කියන්නේ මට තේරෙනවා දැන් දුවට කියන්න ඕනේ මේක numbers n ගානක් වෙනකම් ගන්නවා කියන එක. but දුව එක illustrate කරලා තියෙන විදිහේ අවුලක් තියෙනවා දුව. ඒ දුව එතන හිතන්නේ මෙහෙම එක සැරයකට එක number එකයි දෙන්න කියලා දෙන්නේ. So you just take that number as something n1 or n2 or n3 or n කියලා හිතන්න. So you take that number, add it to the total, ask a number again. Another iteration එක වෙන තැන. Add it to the total, ask the number again. Add it to the total, ask the number again. Meanwhile, you have to check whether a zero is given or not. But Minul, your counter is starting from 0. So the once the first number is taken, counter becomes 1, right? So the fifth number is taken, counter becomes 5. So once it goes to the condition and checks, still the counter is equals to 5. So it's true. Then it is there to add the next number which will have been taken. බලන්න iteration එකත් එක්ක හිතලා. When counter is 0, you are taking the first number, then increasing the counter. So that means count is 5, you are taking the fifth. When you are taking the fifth value, count is 5, right? So ඔයාගේ පස්වෙනි value එක ගත්තයින් පස්සේ තමයි count එක පහ වෙන්නේ. Binadi, I received your answer. Let me see. Yes, Binadi. Perfect. That's going to be the answer. Well done. Binadi, there's a small mistake. You haven't displayed the total to her. Like once after you done the totaling, done the calculation, before you end it, you have to show the total. Minul, is it so? Let me see. Dulagi, now it's perfect. It's correct, Dua. Well done. Right? Go for the next one. Minul, yeah, now when the first number is there, it is been added to the total, the counter becomes 1. Right? So the fifth number is there. First number is there, count is 1. Fifth number is there, count is 5. Count is 5. No, Minul, now think about this. Paswani number එක දුන්නාම When the fifth number is given, counter is less than or equal 5. Yes, it is still. දැන් ඔයගේ මැනර් එක තියෙන්නේ එහෙමනේ. පළවෙනි නම්බර් එක දුන්නම counter becomes 1. Right? Minul, can you on the mic so we can talk about this?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Minul? Minul, can you hear me? Minul? Okay, mic is not responding. Sorry, Uta. Yeah, Minul, think about this point. In your flow chart, when first number is given, after the condition, it is being added to the total, counter becomes 1. ඕකනේ එතකොට nature එක වෙන්නේ. First number is taken, counter becomes 1. ඒක තමයි එක iteration එකක් වෙන්නේ. Then the second number is taken, counter becomes 2. Third number is taken, counter becomes 3. Fourth number is taken, counter becomes 4. Fifth number is taken, counter becomes 5. Right? The count එක පහ වුණාම ඔයා 6 වෙනි number එක ගන්නවා input number n වලින්. Sixth number is taken. But still counter is 5 නේ. Count එක 6 වෙලා නැහැ නේ තාම. So it says counter less than or equals 5. It is not less than, but it is equals. So it added to the total. Then counter becomes 6th. Then you are taking the 7th value. Then the condition will go wrong. Did you got that, Minul? Okay, let's do the dry run and see. So let me take the it's good you have done the dry run. So okay, hold on, I have to go through these two answers. So yeah, Vihansa, I received yours. Let me see the yes, Vihansa, the second condition is not needed, though. You have taken the number, you have checked whether the n is 0. If it is no, that particular number is added to the total. Then you ask for the next number. You don't need to ask whether there are any number or not, because that is being asked from the enter number thing, no? And though that's going to be it's not going to be a rectangle, though it's going to be a parallelogram. Samantarasrayak wenna one duwa. Enter a number thing, right? ඊට පස්සේ එක yes පැත්තේ ඒ කියන්නේ if n equals 0 කියන එක yes පැත්තේ you can output the total and end, right? Correction එක කරගන්න දුව. Onetra, let me see yours. Yeah, Onetra, your process which you have run like add equals total plus value, that is going to be total equals total plus value, and the next the what you have drawn in the parallelogram is not needed. දැන් දුවගේ වෙන්නේ value එකක් ගන්නවා, then ඒක add කරනවා current total එකට, then it becomes the new total, then බලනවා input කරපු number එක 0ද කියලා. දුවගේ තියෙන්නේ total එක update කරලා ඉවර වෙලා වඩා හොඳයි මේක ගියා නම් මෙතනට ඔහොම ඉන්න පුතේ මම පොඩ්ඩක් මෙයාව down කරලාම දුවට කියන්නේ වැඩේ. Minul, just wait. Right. On Etra, it's better you have the no, what is this? Yeah, on Etra, it's better you have your condition right over here. Like once you take the value, it's better you check. So question එක වෙන්න ඕනේ is value equals 0 කියලා තමයි මෙතන question එක එන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඒකේ yes ඒක no path එකේ නම් you are going to do this. Right? ඒක yes වුණාම then you are going to have this and you are going to end. තේරුණාද නේත්‍රා? මේක යන්නේ මේ විදිහට. Onitra, did you got that? Right, great. Do the corrections, Dua. Let me see. This is Dulagi, right? Yeah. And let me see. Okay. Yes. Great. Well done, Dulagi. That's perfect. Right. And this is Sinura, right? Okay. Sinura, let me see. Enter a number. Okay. Sinura, ඉන්න මම පුතා එකත් මෙතනට අරගෙනම කියන්නම්. Right. Sinura, වාගේ start කළා number එක enter කරගත්තා. So it's good you have the condition. Condition එකෙන් පස්සේ දැන් මේක no path එකනේ. මේකනේ පුතේ no path එක. So මේකේ තමයි මෙන්න මේ කොටස එන්න ඕනේ. Right? මෙයා connect වෙන්න ඕනේ මෙතනට. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම ඉරක් ගහන්න එපා. No එකට තමයි මෙයා වෙන්න ඕනේ. Then it connects to this flow. ඒතර ඕක තමයි iteration එක වෙන්නේ. Right? මෙතනින් connect කරන්න එපා. Right? ඊට පස්සේ ES path එකේ total එක display කරලා මෙතන ලියනවා display total කියලා. Then you can end. Right? හොඳයි සිනුර. අල්ලගෙන තියෙනවා 90කට එහා පැත්තේ. Right? තේරුණාද සිනුර? Right. Binadi, you have to have the breath. Right? Wait, I'll give you the 11th question. Right? Hold on. Right. Hari. Sinra madam corrections kar lewanda. Right. So for the people who have done the 10th question, since you are asking for 11th, here I'm giving you 11th. Right? Others slowly කරගෙන යන්න, no problem. Binadi, this is the 11th one. Minul අපි dry run එක කරලා බලමු මේ සමහරට ඔයාගේ එක හරියන්න පුළුවන්, right? We'll see. Right. So people just write down the 11th question and I'm going to tell you what is hand resin or dry run means, right? So I'm going to take the Minul's question to do the dry run, right? So doing a dry run means we are checking whether this particular flow chart is in the correct way, happening on the correct way or not, right? So that's what we are going to do, right? So this is the Minul's answer. So let me check, take a screenshot. Okay, so now හැමෝම බලා ගන්න මේක වැදගත්, right? So මොකද දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට මම මෙච්චර මේ flow charts and දෙව්වට when you are come to your paper you will see there is no any flow chart for you to draw. ඒ කියන්නේ question එක දීලා නිකම්ම අඳින්න කියන්නේ නැහැ, right? Either you are given a flow chart to fill the blanks or you are given the pseudocode and looking at it you are asked to draw the flow chart, or the vice versa. Pseudocode is given to draw the flow chart, or the flow chart is given to write the pseudocode, right? ඒ විදිහට තමයි ඔයගලගේ question එක හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. So it will be very easy when you are going through this commando training, right? So that's why I'm asking you to like මෙයාත් එක්ක ගහගෙන නේද තරහ අරගෙන හරි කමක් නැහැ, තරහ නැතුව හරි කමක් නැහැ, කොහොම හරි රණ්ඩු වෙලා මේ වැඩේ කොට ගන්න, right? All right. Now here this is the way that we are going to do the dry run, right? So the first thing, when we are dry running, we have to think about each and every variable of a flow chart, or when it comes to the pseudocode it happens the very same way. So we comes down, we are facing with two different variables, count equals 0, total equals 0. So I'm taking count as a one column, total as another column, which is the tot in here. So count is 0 for the moment, tot is 0 for the moment. Then it says input number n. N is going to be another variable. So I'm inputting 10. So n will become 10 for the moment. So it will check the particular condition. Is count less than or equal 5? So count is 0. So 0 is less than 5. So condition is correct. Then I am flowing through the yes way. So it says total equals total plus n. That means the existing total, which is the 0, at the end for that particular total. So total become 10 and assign it to the total again. So this is 10 will be total from this particular process. Then it says counter equals counter plus 1. Count equal count plus 1 in this position. So count will increase by 1. That means count will become 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So count will be given the value 1. So then it goes again to the top. And it says input number n again. So from this flow. So I'm inputting 20. So n will become 20 then. Count less than or equal 5. It is less than or equal 5 because count is 1 still. Total added with n. So 10 plus 20, total will become 30 then. Then goes down again. Count will increase by 1. So count will become 2. Goes up again. Asking for another number. I'm giving 30. So checking the condition. Count is less than or equal 5. It is less than 5 too. So total will added with the n. So total is 30. What I have enter is 30. 30 plus 30 it will become 60. So counter will increase by 1. So it will become 3. from here. So then it goes up again and asks for another number. So I'm giving 40. So condition will be checked. Counter is less than or equal 5. It is less than or equal 5. It is less than actually. So then total will be increased with the n. So n is 40, total is 60 for the moment. So 60 plus 40 is 100, right? So then count will increase by 1. So that means 3 become 4 and goes up again. And input for another number, ask for another number. So I will give 50, right? So count is checked, less than or equal 5. Still it is less than, 4 is less than 5. Then total will added with n. So 100 is the total, 50 is the given number. So 150, it will become 150, right? Then goes down again, right? Then counter increase by 1. So that means 4 will become 5 and goes up again. Asks for another number. So I'm giving 60 and counter is checked. So counter is less than or equal 5. It is not less than, but it is equals to 5, right? So goes down again. Total will added with n. So 150 plus 60 is going to added. That means 210 it's going to be. Then counter will be increased by 1. That will become 6. So goes again. Asks for another number. So I am giving another number. Given another number which is 70. So now count is not less than or not equals to 5. So it goes on this manner. So it stops right over here. It outputs 210. Minul, that's the problem, right? So you have taken how many? So the first 5 numbers, like it should be the addition of these 5 things, neither 150 went only. So we are going for 6. Zeroth count means Minul? Yeah, so yes, Minul. So it how's the program is going to happen? Neither Minul. Minul, according to the dry run, you can see like when the count is 0, you are going to take a valid. That's the problem, Puta. Minul, are you getting the problem? කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ උත්තරේ එන්න ඕනේ මිනුල් 150නේ. ඔයාගේ උත්තරේ එන්නේ 150 නෙවෙයි පුතේ. 210 එන්නේ. ඔයා කවුන්ට් එක 1 කියලා පටන් ගත්තා නම් මේ වෙලේ හරියනවා. Yes. නැත්තම් condition එක less than or equal 4 කියලා දැම්මනම් ඒත් හරියනවා. Yes. Yes. Great. එතන තමයි වැරදිලා තියෙන්නේ. So people, now this is very important, right? Because you are given several questions in your paper to figure out what would be the output of given flow chart. Flow chart එක දීලා කියනවා output එක මොකක්ද කියලා හොයාගන්න කියලා. අනිවාර්යෙන් ප්‍රශ්න දෙකක් හරි තුනක් හරි MCQ paper එකේ එනවම. Right? එතකොට hand tracing ගැන මේ විදිහට හරියට අත්දැකීමක් තියෙනවා. So we are going to practice that, right? So we call this the hand tracing or the dry run, right? There are many different ways of checking these things, many complex ways as well, right? But in our level, we are going to do this kind of a thing, right? All right, so I'm going to do the question number 11 and the 10 as well by next week. So if you're done with the questions, just send me the answer. I'll send you the feedbacks. So I'm going to end the session from this point, right? So have a happy 2021, people. Let's hope and pray 2021 is going to be a much better year than 2020, right? So I'm going to meet you on 2021, right? So keep it up, people. You are doing good, right? So Vedatika Kerala Evanda. We are going to meet on next Sunday for the same time, right? And you are going to have the examination on that day. Remember, that අවුරුද්ද පළවෙනි දවසේම exam එකක් කරලායි පටන් ගන්න හදන්නේ. So be prepared, right? Okay, people. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend and
Thank
have
you,
a good
sir.
night. Okay, okay,
Thank you, sir.
right, okay.